Imagine a morning like any other. You wake up feeling good. Soft morning light filters through your window. The house is quiet. You sip your warm coffee. Your mind at ease. You think to yourself, today's going to be a great day. Then you step outside. Within minutes, you're stuck in traffic. Horns blaring. People cutting in. Shouts. You glance at your watch, then at your phone. A message pops up. Project delayed. The boss isn't happy. An hour later, you arrive at work. Someone cuts you off mid-sentence during a meeting. Another colleague makes a sarcastic comment about your work, and you, the calm, centered person from just an hour ago, now find yourself clenching your jaw. Heart racing. Fists tight without even realizing it. Why? Why can a few external triggers completely hijack your state of mind? How can a peaceful day suddenly become a storm of emotions? Why is it that you, an intelligent, experienced adult, still struggle to stay calm? Here's the truth. Because you've never trained your mind. You've learned how to meet deadlines, how to talk to people, how to use tools, apps, communication skills. But have you ever learned how to manage your emotions? Has anyone ever taught you how to stay centered in the face of unfairness, pain, or chaos without losing yourself? For most of us, the answer is no, and that's why our minds often feel like enemies, not allies. We're living in a time of constant urgency notifications, messages, deadlines, bad news. Every day, we're pulled in 100 directions, each demanding an instant response. Reply right now. Decide right now. Speak your mind immediately or be left behind. But here's the catch. Reacting fast doesn't mean reacting well. And staying calm is not weakness, it's strength. In ancient Rome, in a world filled with war, betrayal, and political power games, there was a group of people who followed a very different philosophy. They weren't trying to control the world. They were focused on controlling themselves. They were philosophers, warriors, emperors, and they lived by a philosophy called Stoicism. Stoicism teaches one central truth. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. So if you find yourself losing control easily, reacting with anger or frustration, getting overwhelmed by small things, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not weak. You've just never been trained. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. Not theory, not fake positive affirmations, but practical mental training, pulled from ancient wisdom and tailored for the modern world. In this video, you'll learn how to interrupt an emotional reaction in just 3 seconds, why anger usually lasts only 90 seconds if you know what to do with it, how to stay calm even when everything around you feels out of control, and why calmness isn't a personality trait, it's a trainable skill. So here's the biggest question today. Do you control your mind, or does your mind control you? If you've ever felt hijacked by your emotions, regretted how you reacted in the heat of the moment, or wished you could just stay calm when it mattered most, then this isn't just a video you should watch. It's a video you need to watch. Let's begin the journey of training the mind with the timeless power of Stoic philosophy. Thomas, 33 years old, an ordinary man, not particularly special, not particularly troubled. He works in tech, earns a decent income, lives in a small suburban apartment with his kind wife and their 5-year-old son. From the outside, Thomas seems to have it all: stability, responsibility, and maturity. But inside, he's fighting a battle no one can see. Behind the mask, Thomas isn't someone who yells, He's never raised his voice at work, never fought with his neighbors, never caused a scene at the grocery store, but he suppresses everything. Every time a co-worker forgets to mention his name in a meeting, he smiles, but inside, he's thinking, there it is again. They're ignoring me. Every time his son spills milk, Tomas quietly cleans it up while thinking, why does everything fall apart when I'm tired? Every time his wife asks him to open up more, he nods, but inside, he feels judged, pressured, suffocated. Tomas's mind is like a sealed pressure tank. He thinks that staying silent is strength, that not reacting is control. But the truth is, Tomas isn't in control of anything. He's just suppressing like a ticking bomb, the breaking point. It happened on a random Tuesday, and it all started with an unanswered message. A colleague failed to reply to Tomas's comment in a group chat. No apology, no explanation. Tomas, already overwhelmed by deadlines, running on no sleep, still tense from a morning argument with his wife, suddenly felt like the world was disrespecting him. So he snapped. Within 20 seconds, he fired off a long, sarcastic message laced with criticism. He took a screenshot and sent it to a private group of friends with a caption mocking the co-worker. An hour later, his manager called him in. The message had been shared across departments. Tomas didn't lose his job, but he lost something else, people's respect. No one said anything directly, but something had shifted, and he knew it. The turning point. That night, Tomas sat alone on the sofa. His wife was putting their son to bed. The room was quiet, but his mind was spinning. Why couldn't I control myself? Why did something so small throw me off so hard? Am I just a bad person? He opened YouTube, looking to distract himself. The algorithm showed him a video titled, "You can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond." He paused. That sentence hit him like a punch to the chest. He whispered it to himself, I don't have to react on autopilot. I can choose. And for the first time in his life, Tomas realized no one ever taught him how to manage emotions. He knew how to work. He knew how to earn. He knew how to be a husband, but he didn't know how to face anger, fear, or pain without being consumed by them. The shift began with small things. Tomas didn't change overnight, but he started with small actions. Breathing deeply before speaking. Every time he felt the tension rising, he took 3 slow breaths and let the first reaction pass. Journaling emotions daily each night. He wrote down what upset him, but not as a victim. He asked himself, why did I react that way? 3. Taking evening walks without his phone. No music. No podcasts. Just walking, breathing, and watching the trees. Delaying replies. If a message made him angry, he'd wait 10 minutes before deciding whether to respond. Focusing on what he can control. Instead of blaming co-workers, he worked on clearer communication. Instead of demanding obedience from his son, he practiced patience. Tomas didn't eliminate emotions. He faced them. The emotions still came. Anger still showed up, but instead of suppressing them or exploding, Tomas watched them like an outsider. He learned to recognize his anger the way one sees a storm cloud. It's coming. I see it. But I don't have to run. I don't have to panic. That is the core of Stoicism. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be a robot. It teaches you to be the master of your emotions, not their prisoner. The lesson calm is a skill, not a gift. If you've ever thought I can't stay calm, I'm just hot-tempered, or I always overreact, It's just who I am. Remember Thomas? He wasn't born calm. He practiced. He failed. He kept going. You don't need to be a philosopher. You just need the courage to start with one small action. Today. So ask yourself, when was the last time you let emotion take the wheel? Were you really in control or just reacting on instinct? If you could go back and choose differently, what would you have done? Your answers to those questions could be the first step to taking your power back. Stoic principle number 1. Who's in control, you or your mind? Here's a simple truth that's hard to accept. Your mind doesn't always listen to you. Think back. Have you ever meant to stay calm, but suddenly lashed out? Ever known you shouldn't say something and said it anyway? Ever made a big decision under stress and instantly regretted it? That's not a logic failure. That's a sign of an untrained mind. Your mind is like a wild horse. Picture yourself riding a wild horse that's never been trained. Every loud noise spooks it. Every flicker of light sends it into panic. It doesn't care where you want to go. It just reacts, bolts, bucks, runs blindly. Your mind works the same way. If you don't know how to train it, you'll be pulled around by fear, anger, anxiety, sadness with no control. As Epictetus once said, it's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. You're not hurt by what someone said. You're hurt by the story you told yourself after they said it. You're not stressed because of a deadline. You're stressed because of how you framed that deadline as a threat, a judgment, a test of your worth. Everyday example. You're driving. Someone cuts you off and doesn't apologize. You can either think, what a jerk, so disrespectful, get angry, or maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're having a terrible day. Stay calm. Same event. Two different minds. Two different lives. Stoic, practice pause for 3 seconds and rewrite the story. Next time something frustrates or angers you, don't react instantly. Step 1. Pause for 3 seconds. Do nothing. Just breathe. Step 2. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Is there another way to interpret this? Step 3. Rewrite the internal narrative. From "they insulted me" to "they might be hurting" and don't know how to express it. From "they disrespected me" to "maybe they didn't even realize." This isn't about making excuses. It's about taking back control of your own reactions. Stoic philosophy makes one thing clear. You can't control how people act. You can't control the world, but you can always control how you interpret what happens. And from there, you can control your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. A true story from history. Epictetus, a slave who found freedom. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, was born into slavery. His master could beat him at will, but Epictetus said, "My body may be controlled, but my mind only if I allow it." He didn't just survive, he became a symbol of inner freedom, because he chose to interpret life differently. Principle number 1. Recap. Emotions don't come from events. They come from your perspective on the event. The mind isn't naturally calm, it must be trained. Like a wild horse, when emotion hits, pause for 3 seconds and rewrite the story in your head. Question for you. Are you in control of your mind, or are you just riding a wild horse you've never learned to tame? Stoic principle number 2. Don't let anger take the wheel. Anger isn't a bad emotion. It's a natural reaction, one that's been with us since our ancestors lived in the wild, where every threat could mean life or death. The problem isn't the emotion, the problem is this: who's in control, you or the emotion? Anger is like losing the wheel on the highway. Imagine you're driving fast on the freeway. Suddenly, someone cuts you off. Your heart races. You grip the wheel tight. Your brain is flooded with urges: shout, honk, curse, maybe even swerve in retaliation. If you let that emotion take the wheel, you lose control. And the damage isn't just a traffic incident. It could ruin relationships, reputation, even your career. A famous example: Will Smith at the Oscars, a global event, a historic night. One unforgettable moment. Will Smith, a beloved actor known for his charm and inspiration, walked on stage and, in a moment of anger, slapped Chris Rock on live television. Decades of building an image, overshadowed by a few seconds of emotion. No one remembers the Oscar he won. They remember the anger. Seneca warned us. The one who gets angry suffers more than the one who caused the offense. Anger is like drinking poison and hoping the other person feels it. But in reality, you're the one burning from the inside. Science agrees. When you're angry, your body releases adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones. Your heart rate spikes, muscles tense. Your logical brain shuts down. You're no longer responding with wisdom. You're reacting with instinct. And if you feed that anger regularly, it becomes a habit, a neural pathway. Eventually, you react the same way every time you're triggered. The Stoic tool, the 90-second rule. According to neuroscientist Jill Bolte Taylor, an emotional reaction like anger lasts only 90 seconds, unless you keep fueling it with your thoughts. Think of it like a wave. If you stay still, the wave passes. But if you chase it, you'll be swept away and lose yourself. Practical exercise: the Stoic cooldown. Next time you feel anger rising, try this 3-step method. 1. Stay completely silent for 90 seconds. Don't speak. Don't text. Don't react. Step outside if you need to. Just pause. R. Breathe deeply, 3 slow breaths. Inhale slowly, hold. Exhale fully. Repeat. Remind yourself, this is just a wave. It will pass. San. Observe the emotion, don't become it. Ask yourself, do I really want to give someone else control over my emotions? Stoicism doesn't say avoid emotion. It teaches mastery. Emotions aren't enemies, they're signals. But like a fire alarm, you don't need to burn down the building every time it rings. You pause, assess, then respond wisely. Avoid anger, fuel after we get angry. We often vent to others, and the more we tell the story, the more we relive the rage, reread messages or revisit moments, reigniting old emotions, ruminate and spiral into worse thoughts. That's pouring gasoline on the fire. Let it burn out instead. Principle number 2, recap. Anger is a reaction, but reactions can be retrained. The 90-second rule is a powerful tool to break the emotional chain. The one who controls their anger controls their fate. Ask yourself, the last time I got angry, was I in control or was I being controlled? And remember, calmness is not weakness. It's the highest form of inner strength. Stoic principle number 3. Calm is power, not weakness. In today's loud, reactive world, we often see quick responses, raised voices, and fiery comebacks as signs of strength, as being tough or real. But those who are truly strong are often the ones who know when to be silent. The image of a warrior on the battlefield picture. An ancient battlefield, 2 armies face off. Dust in the air, shouting all around. The weak charge first, reckless, panicked, driven by fear. But the strong, they don't scream, they don't flinch, they observe. They wait for the right moment. Every move they make is intentional. In Stoic philosophy, calm isn't escape. It's not avoidance. It's a higher form of strength, a quiet kind of power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." And he didn't just write it, he lived it. Marcus wasn't just a thinker, he was emperor of Rome. He ruled over a vast empire, yet lived simply, meditated daily, and trained his mind constantly. He had the legal power to execute anyone who insulted him, yet he chose silence, reason, and restraint. He led not by rage, but by wisdom. Calm is a form of power. In any relationship or conflict, the person who stays calm while others lose control, that's the person with true power. In arguments, the calm voice guides the conversation. The angry voice loses credibility. In crisis, the calm mind solves problems. The panicked one makes things worse. In confrontation, the calm individual doesn't react, they respond, deliberately and precisely. So, how do you stay calm when under attack? Stoicism doesn't ask you to tolerate abuse or injustice, but it teaches you to respond from control, not instinct. Here's a Stoic technique you can try. Pause, adjust, act. Stoic technique: pause, adjust, act. 1. Pause for 3 seconds. When someone criticizes, mocks, or provokes, you don't respond right away. R. Adjust your tone. Lower your volume. Slow your pace. When you control your voice, you control the energy in the room. San. Maintain the Stoic gaze. No eye-rolling. No scowling. No avoiding eye contact. Just look steadily, not as an attack, but as if you're seeing through the person, focused on the real issue. Silence is not surrender. Stoic silence isn't passivity. It's a tactical retreat, a space to observe, not to retreat. Like an archer drawing back a bow, not to back off, but to aim with precision. That calm gives you clarity. Who's really in control here? What's my true goal? What action will I be proud of in 1 hour? 1 Dalton, why? 1 year, a modern example, Barack Obama. During tense debates and press conferences, former President Obama was known for his incredible composure. When criticized, he often paused before speaking. When misunderstood, he didn't rush to defend himself. He chose his timing, words, and delivery with thoughtfulness. That quiet composure gave him real authority without ever needing to raise his voice. Principle number 3. Recap. Calm is not weakness. It is inner strength, forged through practice. In conflict, the calm person holds the real power. Use the Stoic technique: pause, adjust, act. Ask yourself, are you mistaking emotional outbursts for courage? Do you want to be in control or be controlled by emotion? If you agree that calmness is the weapon of the wise, then join me for principle number 4. Life isn't fair, accept it. Are you ready? There's a quiet belief many of us carry. If I do good work, I'll be rewarded. If I'm kind, others will treat me kindly. If I try hard enough, justice will follow. And then reality hits. You don't get the promotion someone less qualified, but better connected does. The person you love chooses someone who doesn't value them. Your passion project gets rejected because of internal politics. Life isn't fair, and it never promised to be. Martyr's story. Martyr was a talented marketing professional, consistent, responsible, always delivering on time. She even picked up extra tasks without recognition. Everyone expected her to be promoted. But the promotion went to someone with less experience who just happened to be more well-liked by the boss. Marta was crushed. She felt betrayed, disillusioned, angry. She started showing up late, doing the bare minimum. Her inner dialogue became bitter. Why bother trying? When playing the game wins over working hard. She used to be energized. Now, she was just tired. A wake-up call from Epictetus. Don't ask for things to happen as you wish for them to happen as they do. At first glance, that may sound like surrender, but it's not. It's awakening. You can't control life's unfair moments, but you can control how you face them. The difference: bitter people versus stoic people. Bitter people waste energy complaining about what they can't change. Stoic people save their energy for action where they can make a difference. Marta changed when she understood this. Instead of sulking, she asked herself, what leadership skills can I develop right now? How can I build influence with integrity? Who do I want to become regardless of the outcome months later? During a departmental restructuring, Marta was chosen to lead a new team not because she complained, but because she shifted her energy. She stopped blaming. She focused on what she could control. And the world responded. Stoic practice one day without complaining. Pick a day. Just one. And for 24 hours, commit to this rule. No complaints. Not about traffic. Not about the weather. Not about people. No venting. No gossip. No subtle digs. No sarcastic I'm fineness. Just notice and choose action. It'll be hard. You'll notice how often you complain without realizing it. But you'll also notice this. When you stop feeding frustration, your mind becomes clearer, quieter, and more proactive. You shift from victim to navigator. Acceptance is not defeat in Stoicism. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means you stop fighting reality and start focusing your power on what actually matters, like a skilled swordsman adjusting to the wind. You don't try to change the wind. You change your angle. Principle number 4. Recap. Life is unfair. Always has been. Always will be. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your response. Instead of resentment, choose resilience. Try the practice one day without complaining. Ask yourself, how much energy are you spending on things you can't control? What would happen if you redirected that energy into action? If this resonates with you, you're ready for the next step. Stoic principle number 5. Losing control is a choice. One of the most practical principles yet. Shall we continue? You've probably heard someone say, I couldn't help it. I just lost control. It sounds like emotions came crashing in, took over, and we were just helpless. But in Stoic philosophy, that's an illusion. No one can steal your peace unless you give it away. No one can make you angry. No one can force you to panic. No one can control your reaction unless you hand them the keys. It's like a door that only opens from the inside. Losing control doesn't happen to you. It's a silent choice you've agreed to. Unconsciously, a familiar situation. You're stressed at work, overwhelmed. Then a colleague makes a snide comment. What's taking so long should have been done last week. Right. At that moment, you have options. Snap back. Why don't you try doing it? Then talk. Stay silent. Walk away, stewing in frustration all day. Or pause. Recognize the trigger and choose your response. A Stoic doesn't just put up with it. They don't suppress emotions. They choose how to respond. From reason, not reflex. Stoic technique, emotional airplane mode. When you board a flight, your phone has to go into airplane mode. No incoming messages, no reactions, just stillness. You can do the same with your emotions. Step 1. Recognize the signal. Heart racing, clenched fists, heat rising in your chest or face. That's your cue. Activate emotional airplane mode. Step 2. Step away. If possible, ask to step out of the meeting. Take a breath on the balcony. Delay replying to that email or message. Even a 60-second break can change everything. Step 3. Ask one simple question. If I react right now, what's the cost? If I wait just 5 minutes, would I act more wisely? You can feel the fire without throwing fuel on it. Story: The General and the Full Glass. A student once asked an old general, battle-worn and wise, "How do you stay calm when someone insults you in front of others?" The general smiled and said, "See this glass of water. If I leave it alone, it stays still. But if I shake it, it spills." Then he added, "The mind is the same. People might drop a little insult, but you decide whether to stir it up or let it settle. Let's be honest, I'm just hot-tempered is a cop-out. No one is born knowing how to stay calm. Just like driving, speaking a new language, or lifting weights, it's a trainable skill. It all begins with one small choice. Choose to pause instead of react. Choose to observe instead of attack. Choose inner peace over proving a point. Principle number 5. Recap. Losing control isn't an accident. It's an unconscious habit. You can retrain your mind by practicing emotional airplane mode. Every emotional trigger is a chance to reclaim your power. Ask yourself, are you acting like you have no choice? Or are you ready to reclaim that choice and respond from clarity, not chaos? If you're ready to stop letting your emotions grab the steering wheel, then let's continue to Stoic principle number 6. Calm the mind by connecting with the body. Shall we? Many people believe that calm is something you train only in the mind, but over 2,000 years ago, the Stoics understood something deeper. The mind and body are one system. If your mind is in chaos, your body will reflect it. And if you calm the body, the mind follows. The stress loop picture. A stressful day. Sitting 8 hours at a desk. Eating in a rush. Shallow breathing. No movement. No real breaks. Constant inputs, emails. Bad news. Unrealistic expectations. The result: tight shoulders, stiff neck, digestive discomfort, head pounding. You think you're just overthinking, but really your body is waving a red flag. Seneca's advice: we should take walks outdoors so that the mind can be strengthened and refreshed by the open air and deep breathing. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, didn't write from a chair. He walked while writing. Movement was part of his meditation. He understood this truth long before modern science confirmed it. Walking boosts dopamine and serotonin, natural mood stabilizers. Light exercise reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. Standing tall improves confidence and gives you a sense of control. Stoic practice aimless walking each day. Take at least 15 minutes for a walk with no phone, no podcasts, no texting, no multitasking. Just walk, breathe, and observe. The sound of birds, leaves falling on the sidewalk, sunlight bouncing off a window. This isn't just relaxing, It's reconnecting with the present and with yourself. Your body speaks. Are you listening? Stress doesn't always use words, but your body still tells the truth. Clenched jaw during sleep, tight chest when breathing, stomach discomfort for no reason, restlessness or insomnia. Even when you're exhausted, you don't need to earn rest. You only need to realize your body is part of your wisdom system. A 3-minute Stoic reset modern practice. When your mind feels overloaded, try this quick. Stoic body reset. Step 1. Conscious breathing. Take 3 deep, intentional breaths. Inhale through the nose to hold for 3 seconds, to exhale slowly through the mouth. Step 2. Feel your body. Place a hand on your chest or abdomen. Let physical sensation anchor you back to the moment. Step try gentle movement. Stretch upward. Roll your shoulders 10 times. Walk for 2 minutes. That's it, just 3 minutes, but it can bring you back to center. Reconnect you. Don't need to fix everything. You don't have to solve your entire life to earn peace. Sometimes, you just need to step away from your desk. Walk around the block. Sip cold water. Take a long breath. And let your body remind you, you're not just a brain solving problems, you are a living being. Principle number 6. Recap. The mind and body affect each other deeply. Use the body to soothe the mind. Walk, move, and breathe like Seneca did. Practice aimless walking and the 3-minute body reset to reclaim calm in chaos. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually felt your body? Are you living like a whole human being or just a floating head attached to a forgotten shell? If this principle speaks to you, let's continue to one of the deepest foundations of Stoic calm. Stoic principle number 7, calmness is always a choice. You've probably heard people say, I want to be calm, but it's just my personality. I'm naturally sensitive. I can't help how I react. It just happens. I don't choose it. These are the most common excuses of an untrained mind. But in Stoicism, calm isn't a personality trait. It's a conscious choice, and just like a muscle, it's built through practice, repetition, and reflection. Seneca once said, the more power something has over you, the weaker you are in front of it. In other words, the more emotionally reactive you are to something, the more you're a slave to it. A slave to criticism, a slave to other people's opinions, a slave to unread texts, a slave to not being recognized or praised. In every situation, you have 2 choices. 1, react on instinct, get angry when insulted, feel anxious when judged, lash out, shut down, or run away. R, respond with reason, pause, observe. Choose a response that reflects the person you want to be. Each reaction is a brick. Are you building a reflex-driven self, or a self built on awareness and control? Stoic tool, your emotional plan B. Emotional triggers are everywhere. A surprise email from your boss, a passive-aggressive text from a friend, a cold message from someone you love. If you only have one reaction mode, you'll lose control often. That's why you need an emotional plan B, a backup response you've prepared before emotions take over. Examples: when offended, to plan B, smile. Excuse yourself. Revisit the talk in 5 minutes. When misunderstood, to plan B, write your thoughts in a notebook. Respond when calm. When provoked, to plan B, step outside. Breathe. Avoid impulsive comebacks. You can't control the attacker, but you can always choose your reaction. Stoic practice. Build a personal calm zone. Create a space, action, or mental anchor you can return to whenever you need to recenter. Call it your calm zone, your personal safe space. It could be a chair by the window where you feel grounded, an instrumental playlist that calms your breath, a photo on your phone that reminds you of purpose, or a mantra you repeat silently when emotions rise. Suggested Stoic mantra. Be part of the solution, not part of the storm. Every action is a silent declaration. When you choose not to retaliate, you're saying, I am stronger than this fleeting emotion. When you choose calm in the middle of chaos, you're declaring, I am in control, not a victim. You don't need others to change. You can start with how you respond today. Principle number 7. Recap. Calm is not a personality trait. It's a trained response. Whatever controls you emotionally still owns part of you. Use Stoic tools, emotional plan B, calm zone, and a personal mantra. Ask yourself, are you living by reaction or by choice? Are you fueling the problem or helping build the solution? If you're ready to step further into your power, let's move on to Stoic principle number 8. You are not what happens to you, you are how you act. Life doesn't stop throwing challenges your way. Rejection, losing a job, betrayal, misunderstanding, or even worse, losing someone you love deeply. In all these moments, you may not have control over the events, but you always have control over how you respond. Epictetus once said, you cannot choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond. This isn't just a comforting phrase, it's the essence of Stoic philosophy, and one of the most liberating truths you'll ever discover. Brian's story, a powerful example. Brian L. Betty Oliver was born with a physical disability. His arm was incomplete. As a child, he was teased, excluded, and underestimated. But Brian let his response define him. He chose action. He studied acting. He appeared on stage. He acted in films. Now, he travels the world as an inspiration, a symbol of resilience and choice. Brian isn't the disabled guy. He's the man who decided how to respond, despite his physical difference. You choose the story you tell. You can frame your life in one of two ways. I am a victim of my circumstances. Or, I am someone who rose above adversity. Two versions. Same starting point. Very different endings. You can't write chapter 1 where you began, but every subsequent page that's yours to author. Stoic core ethical action by rational choice. Stoicism teaches that your worth isn't defined by wealth, fate, or circumstance, but by how you act morally in every moment. No lying, even if it brings an advantage. No retaliation, even when you're hurt. No whining, even when life isn't fair. Why? Because those choices are in your control. Stoic practice. Rewrite who I am. Grab a sheet of paper and write, I am not. I'm not my job. Failures. I'm not my past. I'm not someone else's opinion of me. Then write, I am, who stands up after falling. I am the choices I make today. I am my kindness in adversity. This exercise breaks the chains of labeling you with your circumstances. The core truth remains. You are not your critics. You are not your losses. You are not the events that happen to you. You are how you respond. You are the final choice you make when everything else is out of your control. Principle number 8. Recap. Challenges are inevitable, but not everyone responds with integrity. Rational. Virtuous responses are sources of inalienable power. You're not a victim unless you choose that role, your reflection. Are you acting like a product of circumstance or like a person with intention and strength? If you're ready to deepen your mastery of the mind, join me next for Stoic principle number 9, mastering your breath to master your mind. We've all heard advice like, just calm down, don't stress, take a breath. Sounds simple until you're angry, panicked, or anxious. In those moments, such phrases often feel empty. Here's why. When you're in high emotion, your rational mind isn't in the driver's seat. The only thing you can control in the moment is your breath. Breath, the bridge between body and mind. In Stoicism, your mind is the ruler, but your body is the domain. If your body is in disarray, your mind struggles to stand firm. Conversely, regulating your breath sends a signal to your nervous system. We're okay. You don't need to change the situation or the people involved. You just need to breathe intentionally. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are troubled by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. One of the most immediate ways to shift your perspective: change your breath. Modern neuroscience backs it up fast. Shallow breaths activate your sympathetic fight or flight system. Slow, deep breaths engage your parasympathetic rest and repair system. In other words, your breath decides how you react. Stoic plus modern technique 478. Breathing advanced by Dr. Breathing, Andrew Weil. This method fits perfectly with Stoic philosophy. 1. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. R. Hold for 7 seconds. San. Exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. Do it for 3-5 rounds. After round 1, your heart slows. After round 2, your mind settles. After round 3, you're calm. Centered. Intentional. When to use it. Before a high-stakes meeting. After an infuriating text. When anxiety is spiraling. Even to reset yourself during a chaotic day. Stoicism doesn't demand constant calm. It requires presence. No one is calm all the time. That. But a Stoic knows when to pause, when to breathe, when to begin again. Practice use breath in place of reaction. Next time you're about to yell, send a heated message. Say something you'll regret. Stop. Do 1, 4, 7, 8 cycle. You might realize that whirlwind I thought was storming was only a breeze that passed. Recap principle number 9. Breath is your most accessible inner control tool. The 4-7-8 technique activates physiological calm. Instead of reacting, breathe your way back to agency. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly breathed mindfully? Are you living with a conscious mind or just surviving on autopilot? If you're ready to delve deeper, coming up is a transformational principle. Principle number 10. Don't let the past or the future steal your present. Marcus Aurelius. Let's reflect on 2 common experiences. A mistake you made that still haunts you. Something coming up that makes you anxious, nervous, or unable to sleep. What do these 2 have in common? They don't exist in the present moment. One has already happened. The other hasn't happened yet, but both are occupying your entire mind. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Man lives only in the present. Everything else is either memory or imagination." This wasn't poetry. He wrote it while leading armies, facing illness, betrayal, and the looming shadow of death. In the midst of life's chaos, he chose to anchor himself in the now. Where does your mind live? 70% of the time, replaying the past. I should have handled that differently. 25% of the time, imagining the future. What if things go wrong tomorrow? Only 5% of the time, truly living in the present. Learning from the past and planning for the future aren't wrong, but when they consume you, they trap you in a time illusion. Two invisible prisons, the prison of the past. Regret over what can't be changed, shame about your former self, ruminating over words, rejections, or pain. The prison of the future. Worry about what hasn't come, imagining worst-case scenarios, fear of loss, failure, or not being enough. The Stoics were clear. You can only act in the present. The past is data. The future is possibility. Only the present is real. Stoic practice. Anchor your mind to the present. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by past regrets or future worries, step 1, touch a small nearby object. A ring, a stone, a mug, anything within reach. Step 2, focus on its physical texture. Is it cool or warm, smooth or rough? Step 3, whisper in your mind, I am here, right now, with myself. This is your mental anchor, a way to stop drifting away in thought. The 1-minute reset, once a day. Try this. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Do nothing. Don't react. Don't overthink. Just observe your breath. When the timer ends, notice the shift. What felt urgent now feels manageable, and you're back to yourself. Stoicism doesn't reject time, it reclaims. Its Stoicism isn't about ignoring the past or denying the future. It's about not letting them steal your present. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are the actions you take right now. Summary principle number 10. We only truly live in the present. The past and future are mental constructs. Obsession with time steals your power. Tools, mental anchors. 1. Minute reset. Tactile awareness. Ask yourself, how many minutes today have you actually lived? Are you acting from the present or from memories and predictions? Next up is a beautifully simple, deeply powerful insight. Principle number 11. Use your hands to quiet your mind. A practice as physical as it is philosophical, ready to explore it. When your mind feels overloaded, when thoughts are racing and everything feels out of control, what do you usually do? Open your phone and scroll endlessly. Watch video after video just to numb out, or just sit there, stuck in silent anxiety. There's a simpler, more ancient option. Do something with your hands. From philosophy to practice, Stoicism is action. Stoicism isn't just theory or quotes. It was always meant to be lived. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal every night by hand. Epictetus taught through live dialogue, not speeches or scripts. Seneca exchanged letters, patiently writing his ideas one word at a time. They didn't just talk about calm, they practiced it. Physically, in motion. A story from war, healing through hands after World War II. Many soldiers came home with deep emotional trauma. Not all of them went through talk therapy. Many were simply given tasks, knitting, carving wood, fixing machines, gardening, and something remarkable happened. Their minds began to settle. They slept again. They smiled again, because using their hands gave their minds a break from the storm. Why are hands so powerful? When you use your hands cooking, cleaning, drawing, folding laundry, you enter what psychologists call flow state. Your attention centers on the present. Your body syncs with your awareness. The past and future fade, and peace arrives quietly, naturally. This is active meditation. It's deeply Stoic. Stoic practice healing through hands. Next time you feel anxious for no reason, stuck in mental loops, disconnected from yourself, do something simple. With your hands, ideas. Carefully fold laundry. Scrub a dish with focus. Doodle with a pencil. Write one page in a journal. Fix something small around the house. No need for perfection. No need for creativity. Just do, and let your mind return to stillness. Stoic reminder. When hands find form, the mind finds shape. When your hands move with purpose, your thoughts follow. The Stoics didn't seek peace by overthinking. They found it in simple, repetitive motion, like wiping a table, folding a blanket, washing their hands. What we call chores today, they considered practical meditation. Stoicism equals intentional labor. If you feel mentally scattered, don't try to think your way out. Instead, act your way forward through your hands. Summary. Principle number 11. When the mind is chaotic, the body can bring order. Using your hands grounds you in the present and helps reset your emotional state. Tools: cleaning, journaling, crafting, folding, any mindful movement. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something small, fully present with your hands? Are you trying to think your way to peace, or could simple action bring more clarity? You've now walked through 11 Stoic principles to cultivate calm and resilience. Up next, the final chapter, where you choose how to live. You've just explored 11 core principles of Stoicism, not to become a philosopher, but to become the one who leads your own mind. From controlling your breath, observing your emotions, staying silent at the right moment, to small actions like walking, journaling, or simply pausing for 3 seconds before reacting, they all point to one truth. Calm is not a gift, it's a choice. And when you choose calm, you're choosing freedom. No one else can make that choice for you. Only you can. If you're ready to commit to this path, drop this in the comments. I choose to live in calm. As your declaration, as your first step, as your beginning. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and explore the playlist below to continue your journey into mastering your mind with timeless Stoic wisdom. Calm is power, and you already have it starting now.